SARI Cohen, and we are at AFI FEST for a special screening of The Song of Names, starring Clive Owen and Tim Roth. Let's take a first look.
He is genius. I go back to Warsaw to my wife and daughters. If I can find somebody to teach David, I leave him here.
I have a family in mind, Mr. Rappaport. My own son is David's age, and I can promise you the tenets of your religion will be fully respected.
I don't want you in my room. It's not your choice. Wrong, Clever. It is my choose.
Germany has invaded Poland.
Your family will be all right.
Happy bar mitzvah, David.
Tonight will be Rappaport's first ever concert on an international stage. So great has been the impact of this 21-year-old Polish immigrant that one tends to forget how little known his name still is.
Did he say where he was going after the rehearsal?
He didn't. I'll keep an eye out.
Go and find him.
I'm looking for David Rappaport. Rappaport, R-A-P...
Would have been here in the 1950s.
He was a virtuoso. When was the last time you saw him?
London takes the violin right out of my hands. You never heard nothing like it in your life.
Where did you pull from for inspiration from this? Was it the script? Was it the characters?
I spend a lot of time reading, and I love research. And so I had Norman Lebrecht's novel, which I loved, and then I had Jeffrey Kane's screenplay, which was wonderful, and François' imagery and imagination in directing the piece. So I had great inspiration from all these pieces, but all these people. But I had to connect to this particular story from my youth, from my father, who was a religious man. In 1951, I was 5. And so it brought me back to my youth and my childhood and the sounds that I heard in the synagogue.
What was it about this project that called out to you when you said, I have to do this?
The story of this Song of Names is difficult to summarize into a single capsule, but at sort of at the heart of it, I mean, it is about friendship, it's about betrayal, it's about reconciliation, but it's also addresses something not head on and not didactically, but addresses a phenomenon that's growing resurfaced in the world today, and which is anti-Semitism. And it's not about that, but it addresses it. And when I read the book, I thought, had this been 30 years ago, I probably wouldn't have felt compelled to make this film. But a lot has changed since World War II, when we thought all of that was over, and in the past, especially in the past 15, 20 years. So that was the compelling reason. And also, I kind of knew that if I didn't make this film, there was no other producer stupid enough to undertake it. So it became like an obligation.
First, I want to commend you on bringing this project to life. I actually have a cousin who is still trying to piece together what happened to family members from the Holocaust. It's an important story to tell.
I grew up in in my generation, the fact was always taught in school and present in our education, and now you realize that the younger generation didn't pick up, and then you see what's happening in Europe and the rise of far-right movements, and then you realize that it has to do with a lack of memory. So I guess we all felt a duty to everybody. I think the cast and the makers and Robert to start with. We felt a little mission to contribute, and this is one thing that cinema does. Movies, we can escape the present and deal a little bit with the past and the future sometimes. So that's what we did.
And a brilliant cast. Tell me a little bit about piecing everybody together for the cast.
Yeah, that was probably the most delicate aspect of my work on this movie. And I saw it on the page right from the top because I got 2 leads. It's a very intimate story between Martin and Davido, but you go through 45 years, so I needed 3 actors for each. So then you need to find these 6. You need to make it work on the page with the nice separation. So there is a writing effort, and then there's a endless casting to build the 6. You find Clive, you find Tim, and then you find the young ones that could match but also work in pairs. And then in shooting and editing, it's remained my main focus. Like, that was the difficult task, and I was lucky to have the 6 of them, but in particular Tim and Clavia.
And that's it here from the red carpet. I'm SARI Cohen. Thanks for watching.
They could still be alive.
If he wanted to be found, don't you think he would have come to you long ago?
Your family perished?
I don't know.
Why are you wasting your time finding David after half a lifetime?
I might be all he's got.